Hey everyone, today I'm doing an Ultra League team with Toxicroak in the lead. It's got Counter, Sludge Bomb, and Mud Bomb. This thing is an absolute beast in the Ultra League meta right now, and this is rank 1. Then I got Charizard as a Shadow as my safe swap, and it just is all around a good safe switch. Wing Attack, Blast Burn, and Dragon Claw. It does great in a lot of neutral situations. And then I got Registeel as a closer, Lock On, Zap Cannon, and Focus Blast. Get the shields down, and this thing is a menace. Let's get right into the video. Alright, right into the first match here. Like I said in the intro, I've got Toxicroak, Charizard, and Registeel. And the main thing with this team is if you can get Registeel with shields down, it does a lot of damage. If you can't get that last shield though, you can run into some issues because you don't really have a lot of fast move pressure. Anyways, let's jump right into it here. Toxicroak, I shield up the first move there. These are early battles, by the way, with this team. These first 5 battles are actually the first 5 that I did with this team, and I went 5-0. And I have rode this team all the way from, I think these battles are rank 17. I'm up to Ace, sitting at 2,230 or something like that as of today. So I have gotten a ton of wins with it, and it's just been really good. So there I take out the Flygon with the Dragon Claw, and just one more thing, the thumbnail of this video says 14-1, and that was battles that I did yesterday. I went 5-0, 5-0, 4-1. So that's not these battles that I'm showing, but I had already had these ones recorded, and I still went 5-0 and 4-1 in these battles. So like I said, this team has just been crazy. It's super solid, and covers each other well. So now that I rambled on for that first match, Sylveon into Toxicroak, and this is actually surprisingly a fairly decent matchup for Toxicroak because the poison resists the fairy. But I do switch into my Charizard. I'm gonna go for a Blast Burn here, and they switched out into an Aggron, which I thought was a little bit confusing, but whatever. I get to another Blast Burn here, and I'm going to throw that, and I get both the shields on this, and I'm not really sure what move they're throwing. It's not Rock Throw, and they just sat there farming away, so I'm going to throw another Blast Burn. That almost takes them out. So at this point, I do believe that I just let this go. I say, okay, you know what, Charizard's done its job. It's got me both shields and almost killed the Aggron. And if I let it go, then I get to come in and get a little bit of farm with Toxicroak to better get me closer to a Sludge Bomb here. Sludge Bomb takes out the Sylveon, and in the back they have a Gigalith, and then they just give up. So, interesting team. Again, like I say, I'm in the rank 17s or something. You can see there too, for Ultra League, I was at 1965 for total wins. I'm up to 2022, I think, right now. So I've been, in the last 2.5 days, I've gotten a lot of wins. So there they had an Obstagoon on lead, switch into Snorlax. I have found that just having Toxicroak on the lead core breaks a lot of teams. They don't seem to be expecting it, they don't really have an answer for it. And even when I am hard countered, typically speaking, they don't have another answer or a better answer in the back for one of the 2 Pokemon in the back. So if I just stay in, as long as I can kind of thing, try to get one shield, do as much damage, but keep my switchability available, and then come in with Charizard, it's really helped me with a lot of battles. So if you guys do watch the whole video, you'll be able to see a lot of different scenarios where I played the different leads differently and stuff like that. And obviously, I could make another video on it now with my gameplay on it as well, which has improved since these battles. So, got Psychic Fangs going into my Registeel. Obstagoon comes in. Now they're doing super effective against me with their cross drops, or their counters. And I'm going to let the Night Slash go. The nice thing is, even if they throw, they give up there. Even if they throw a cross chop at my Registeel, it is super effective, but Registeel is so bulky that it doesn't, I can take a lot of them. So now I got Toxicroak into Solgaleo, and counters are doing neutral damage with the Psychic and Steel typing, but this Mud Bomb is going to do super effective against the Steel. So they do shield that. Now this is going to be a Psychic Fangs, so I think that I let it go thinking, oh, it's just Psychic Fangs, completely forgetting that Psychic is double super effective against me because it's super effective against poison and against fighting. So I switch out into Charizard and farm up over one Blast Burn. Gonna throw this. It will take out the Solgaleo, and then they've got a Vaporeon in the back. So I go for another Blast Burn. Obviously I know that's not super effective, but it still just simply hits really hard, and I get a shield. So like I said in the intro, in neutral situations and even kind of negative situations, it still hits so hard, even if it's not super effective, that it's a very, very good safe switch. So there they've got a Scyther in the back, and I take their move and I'm gonna go for a Zap Cannon here. One shot to the Scyther, and then they have Vaporeon in the back. I've got two shields. I just have to make a Zap Cannon. There's nothing that they can throw at me that's going to take me out, even if I didn't use shields. So farming up here, they're going to throw again. I do believe that I shield up again, just simply just to keep some health. And I get to the Zap Cannon here, and I think this takes out. Yeah, takes him out. Bang. Good. Good game to my opponent. 1965. So I've jumped up a lot, but there you can see. Oh, that was the 4-1 battle. And then I think the next one is 5-0 must be. So first go around with this team, and I went 4-1. I said earlier that I went 5-0 and then 4-1, but I believe that's the order that I've done the video in, or that's how I did the battles. So I was in 16 actually. Sorry, when I started this team I was in 16, and now I'm in Ace. So Meloetta on the lead. So they're going to be using, it looks like Quick Attack, and I'm doing super effective against the normal typing, but they are going to have a Psychic move, so I do correctly shield that up. Farm up a little bit more, they switch into a Tapu Fini. Poison's really good against fairies. They let that go through, it almost one-shots, and at this point I can farm all the way down. They don't even get to a move, or they didn't throw. Meloetta comes back in. Gonna go for a Mud Bomb here. Do get the shield, and I'm already at another Mud Bomb, so I'm gonna throw that. Gets the shield, and now this will be another Psychic move, but I decided at this point to let it go. I've got both their shields, like I said, that's my objective, right, is to get both shields so that Registeel can quite easily close the endgame. So I let this Psyshock go as well, and they bring in their last Pokemon. So I'm going to go for a Blast Burn, and that one-shots the Cobalion. So good game to my opponent there. Into the next match. Walrein into Toxicroak. Again, really good matchup. They have to go all the way for Earthquake to really, really threaten me. So they switch into a Charizard. So I answer with my own Charizard. And this is one of the probably trickier matches to play correctly, because some people go straight Blast Burn like you saw there. I personally like to go straight Blast Burn. but you do see a lot of people go Dragon Claw. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, obviously they're going to go Blast Burn next. Dragon Claw. So it's an interesting matchup depending on where you meet them and depending on how you want to play, to who's going to outpace or leave with a shield advantage. So there you see they do a Dragon Claw, and I just barely live, so I'm able to get to a Dragon Claw as well. And with being a shadow, I'm going to hit a little bit harder, so I do take them out. So I win there. I did commit both shields. However, I still left with a Dragon Claw. Very little energy. So I do get some good chip on their Giratina, and then I'm able to bring in Registeel. Giratina can't really do anything to me here, so I'm pretty safe with Registeel. That's one thing I like about Registeel, is even though I don't have fast move pressure, I can just, yeah, you're in, just toss Registeel in and soak up so much damage. Even, like I said earlier, even if their fast move is super effective, a lot of the charge moves aren't from those types of Pokemon, right? Or they're not hard-hitting moves like Obstagoon. And Cross Chop's not that hard-hitting of a move, so even though it's super effective, you can still take lots of them. So there I go for a Focus Blast. I did decide later on that Zap Cannon is the way to go against Giratina, not the Focus Blast. So here I'm going to go for a Zap Cannon against Walrein, and that gets them deep into the red. Now, they have to go for an Earthquake to take me out. Icicle Spear won't take me out, so they do throw the Earthquake. Fine by me. I can come in with Toxicroak and counter down, and then I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb against Giratina. And this either just barely doesn't take out, or yeah, it just doesn't quite take out. And now I'm countering down, and I think they just gave up there because I believe they should have been out of move. Maybe they lagged one turn or something and the counter went through instead. So Primarina into Toxicroak again. Moderately good matchup for me. You can see the charms are still chunking, but not like they would if it was a pure fighting type Pokemon or a fighting Pokemon without the poison. So I do get one move, I do get a shield, and then I do get farmed down. However, because they're using Charm as their fast move, I decided to bring in Charizard, knowing full well that they could throw a Hydro Pump at me, but they take a very long time to charge, so I figured I'm able to get to enough moves here, like Blast Burn there will take them out, or we get their shield, and then they bring in Charizard. I have some energy, so I do farm up a little bit extra, and here's where I was just like, okay, I'm not going to quite live a Blast Burn, or I'd be incredibly low, so I am going to commit the shield, and they throw a Dragon Claw. So I go straight Blast Burn, they shield it, that's fine, but now I have no shield, so I switch into Registeel a little early because I let them choose to hold on to the energy and throw Blast Burn. So I was a little bit annoyed with myself there, but I do manage to get to the Zap Cannon. So this will take out their Charizard. And then in the back, they've got a Venusaur. And I'm a couple moves away from a Blast Burn, so this should take out the Venusaur. And sure enough, one shots the Venusaur. Another good game. Close. But like I said, these three Pokemon really cover each other well. A lot of fun to play as well. It's another Obstagoon lead. So they're going to switch out right away, and they switch into Escavalier, which is part Steel, so I'm just tearing through that with the counters as well. Now they do have Drill Run and Aerial Ace with the new movesets. The Aerial Ace is more common now, so I do have to respect that, which I do. But I can go for Mud Bombs here. Do get a first shield, so I switch into Charizard, and the wing attacks also are going through because of the bug typing. So now I've got it deep into the red. They throw another Aerial Ace. I do let that go. I can resist that enough that I don't need to shield it. And here they're almost dead. I couldn't quite farm them down before they got to another move, so I do shield this next Airlace. But now I'm loaded with 2 Blast Burns, pretty much. I think I'm 1 wing attack away. Go for Blast Burn number 1, gets the last shield. Blast Burn number 2, this will do a massive amount of damage to the Obstagoon. Gets them deep into the red, or the yellow, they're into the red now. And I'm able to reach a Dragon Claw before they decide to throw. So that'll take out the Obstagoon right away. Obstagoon gone. And then they have a fairy in the back. So, not ideal. I do manage to get all the way to the Blast Burn, because what are they running? Fairy Wing, which does very, very little fast move damage as well. And it almost one-shots them. So I do bring in Toxicroak. Psychic takes me out, and now I get to farm down with Registeel. So that was fun. So that's another good game. At the end of this video, I do show where, I believe where I was at the end of these battles, and then I showed where I was at as of this morning, I think it was. And then obviously I've increased from there as well. Sludge Bomb into Leafeon, one-shots. Virizion in the back. Again, it doesn't really matter what they throw at me, I resist the Leaf Blades, resist Sacred Sword, and resist the Stone Edge. So I can safely no shield whatever it is that they throw. Throw another Mud Bomb. I do get their first shield. I can farm up, and Sludge Bomb would take them out, I think, or do a huge amount of damage. Throw another Bone Bomb. Do get their last shield. And I'm just going to let this go because Charizard can come in here and wing attack and do a massive amount of damage, if not take them out. And I was like, no way they blind throw a Stone Edge. Well, actually, I knew at that point that it was Stone Edge and Leaf Blade, I believe. But anyways, I do shield. And then they bring in Walrein, throw the Focus Blast, does a massive amount of damage, gets them into the red. They throw an Icicle Spear. I'm all fading here. It's late and I'm tired. Focus Blast going into the Walrein. Takes them out, and then they've got the Virizion in the back. And here's a perfect example. Virizion. Their fast move is super effective. Sacred Sword, super effective. And look at that. I can live that one comfortably and maybe shield the next one, but I was already like half health when they threw that. So Focus Blast takes them out. Good game to my opponent there. So there you can see I've won 70 battles. I did manage with this team as well. I did complete page 1 of the 100 battles, and there you go, that's a 5-0 set. So here, as I wrap up the video, I do appreciate everybody that watches. If you are enjoying the content, please leave a like or subscribe, leave a comment. It really helps me out and I appreciate it. So there I'm up to rank 17, and you can see there 17, 145 battles, 75 wins, and there are 200 battles,